So welcome to another episode of Table Talk. My name is Lauren Brandt, and I'm joined by Scottsbluff County Tourism Director, Brenda Leisy. Thank you, Brenda, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been the tourism director and what got you interested in it?
Believe it or not, I am approaching 10 years here already. And I was calculating that the other day, and it almost just doesn't even seem possible. But we've accomplished a lot in that time, so that's all that really matters. But I got my degree in marketing from Chadron State College. Very proud of that whole adventure. Being from Western Nebraska, I've pretty much been from this area my entire life. You always journey off and try other things. And I started out really in economic development. And while I really enjoyed that, this is more hands-on. I always felt like economic development is so much more difficult because it takes so long to prepare things, and I like to see quicker results. So tourism, I feel, is a quicker result.
Yeah, definitely. So now that we're going into the summer tourism season, how is this year kind of looking compared to 2020?
Oh, this season is going to be much better. I might not have necessarily have been able to tell you that had we not just had National Tourism Week, and Mr. John Ricks was here. And he brought the most amazing information with him when he came. And that was that really neat report that he flashed up on the screen to show everybody that for March, it was the best March Nebraska tourism had ever had. And we went from $108,000 in one year to $400,000 the next year. So, like a 135% increase. And that really boosts your ego. I'll tell you, I've sat here month after month for the past 13 or 14, just watching the market tank and scared to get on and calculate my lodging tax numbers, just wondering if we could ever rebound. And so I was pretty excited to open up those numbers that day after that meeting to find out that March was indeed that good for Scottsbluff County as well.
That's awesome. So what strategies is the county using to attract tourists to the area?
Well, we did one thing last year, Lauren, that was it was one of those things that, do we do this or do we not? One thing I knew for sure after, again, listening to John on a Zoom meeting, our industry got together on several occasions and talked about different things that were going on in our industry. But he threw out this little number, and it was 64%. And that was an increase to the amount of web traffic. And that's big. If it would have been 12%, I don't know that I would have thought much about it, but 64%, that's a big number. So I kind of went against industry standards, and I don't do that. I mean, when you have a whole group of professionals that are constantly, talking with each other and working things out, I tend to do, go with the masses and do what they're doing.
Right.
But I felt differently about this. And that was everybody across the state was going to stop all of their marketing. And I thought, wow. There's two ways to look, because they were scared of money. We didn't know, lodging tax. We were scared how much money we were going to have. So I knew that I could either stop with everybody else and then enter the market the same time as everybody else, and you have 50,000 people dropping information out there then, or I could be the one person that continued with my marketing and be the standout. And that's what I chose. And it worked big time for Scottsbluff County. We made 1.6 million impressions, gained so much more Facebook traffic. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was by far the biggest campaign we've ever run. And I'm sure that in my career, I'll never do anything that big again in marketing. It was something else. So
Right.
that was the one thing that I was able to accomplish last year. And look at those statistics when Steve would send them to me and make me smile. It's the one thing that I knew that I was doing right. And people were really into the whole marketing campaign. The response was amazing. And not just people in Nebraska, it was the entire United States.
That's awesome. So is there any plan then to kind of continue that marketing strategy for this summer?
Yes, actually, it's launched already. So
Okay.
anybody that wants to go out to our Facebook page, it's under Scottsbluff County Tourism. We've got some great new little stories. And what I mean by that is we're trying to tell people that this is landmark country, but it doesn't take a nationally known landmark to make it stand out. A landmark can be anything to anybody, to a little boy who went fishing with his dad out at the lake and caught his first fish. It could just be something he was pondering off in the distance, but he will forever, the rest of his life, look at that and remember that that's when he caught his first fish. So that's what the whole campaign is about, that it's something that you see that created a memory for you, or something that created a great experience for you and your family. That's a landmark, because you're going to look at that every time you come to Scottsbluff County, or every time you look at photographs of Scottsbluff County, and you're going to look for that one thing that made a very special moment for you. And that's what this entire campaign is about. So right now we have a great one about Gearing Bakery.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, about a little girl, I believe it's a little girl, that orders a bear claw bigger than her head. But when she sees those neon lights at 6 o'clock in the morning shining off of the top of that building, that's her landmark.
Wow. That's awesome. Gotta love Gearing Bakery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the comments that we're getting from a lot of people on that campaign. They have the best donuts in the world.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you said though, anything can be a landmark, even a bakery shop. So that's
that's
awesome.
exactly right.
Do you know how tourist dollars are being brought into the community so far this year?
Well, we were down 40% for the whole last year, just so you know. We were sitting right at 40%, but we did just see that increase.
Okay.
And really what they've told us is to hold on to our shorts, because people are ready to go. People want to get out of the big areas. They want to come out to the little, Western Nebraska areas. They want rural, and they want activities. They just want to get back into it. They want to travel. So we are expecting, I can tell you that I don't normally get a lot of requests from the eastern part of the state. And I figure it's just because they kind of Google and do their own research and they're happy with that. But we are getting so many more requests for information this year. And so I think people are really just going to start journeying out, taking shorter trips. We already have one person that has completed the entire Nebraska passport, if you can believe that. It's been 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
I know it. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it is. That was a really, and they did it like 2 weeks ago. I mean, really, they just took 1 week and went out and did it, got it done. So I think maybe their goal was to be the first person.
Yeah.
And
Well, mission accomplished.
yeah, they won. They win the prize for that. But I think people just want to get out, and I think our leisure travel is going to be huge. But not just big for lodging tax. You have to realize that a small family taking a leisure trip, just even a weekend trip, only 20% of the money they spend in a community is on lodging. So that means they are spending everything else that they spend is, on gas, on food, souvenirs, visiting our attractions.
Mhm.
So that is really going to help get things going again, get this economy back up and running.
Awesome. And how has, I guess, the lodging and visitor spending kind of rebounded? You mentioned that it's gone up considerably. Is it still trending up for the month of May?
We don't get the reports out that far. So
Okay,
in May, I get March. So in
okay,
June, I get April. So really, we're not going to see our strength in numbers more until fall. Does
okay,
that make sense? Because, September and October is going to be when we see our June and July numbers. So
okay,
I really don't have much more than March, but
okay.
I don't have the records that go back that far. I just have what I have created in the last 9 years, and it was by far our biggest March as well.
Okay. Well, hopefully
So
that's a good sign for summer then.
I know it, and I really think it will be. I mean, we have a lot of reasons to come here. I mean, we really do. Out of this year, it is going to be the 10th anniversary for the High Plains riot. It will be the 10th anniversary for the Monument Marathon, 100 years for Oregon Trail Days. So if we've ever had a time where we really needed, everything up above, all the planets and everything to align and make it happen, it was this year. And I really feel that this is going to be a great rebound for us.
Yeah. So you mentioned some of the events that are coming up this year. Why should tourists come to Scottsbluff County and get involved in those events?
Well, I think we have some unique things. And also, I think that those anniversaries are important to people. Like for the Monument Marathon, if you didn't get to do it the first couple of years, or maybe only got to drop in and run on the third year, the 10th year, they're really loading it up with a lot more prize money and a lot more reasons to come. And so I think that's going to be the biggest thing with our events is we're not just hosting them. We're just giving people, we're doing exactly what we did before, Lauren. We're just doing it better.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And when people come to Scottsbluff, there's tons of attractions. We have the monument, we have Chimney Rock, we have all these great landmarks around us. What should tourists know about what those offer them when they come?
Well, one thing that we really have going for us for attractions is look at it. We have two new visitor centers. I mean, what community gets that? Chimney Rock, it's amazing. It's so much fun to go out there and it's interactive. That's always been one of the things that people tell us is we love to see things, but we want more to do. So we really have these interactive visitor centers now. And of course, the Scottsbluff National Monument there again. So we're offering more within those attractions as well. And the zoo, the bears, we were out there last week. We did a Lions Club tour out there, and I was able to take some folks out there and we had lunch. We got to see, did I say lions? Well, yeah, Lions
Yeah.
Club, bears is
Bears.
what
Yeah.
we
Yep.
saw the bears exhibit. I'm getting my animals confused here. But we saw the bear exhibit and I mean, oh, who wouldn't love that? Kids are going to love that. Families are going to love to get out and see that kind of thing. So I think there again, we're just offering more. We have so many new things and people love to be the first to go see new things. And also look at the Weberg Center. I
Right.
mean, the new
Right.
hotel, is that not just swanky and right uptown? I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like I'm in Paris or something when I step in there and people want to see new things. They want to, so even if they've been here before, even if we have something new to offer, they're going to come see those new things.
Definitely. Yeah. And when the tourists come to our area, what role can, locals play in kind of welcoming them and keeping them in our community?
And that's really important. And we talk about that every year during our tourism toolkit tour for National Tourism Week. That was a tongue twister too, Lauren, but I did really good on that one.
You did good on that one.
But, and that's what's so important is to welcome people into the community. I know sometimes, maybe they don't know where they're going and they're kind of driving around and not exactly, abiding by the laws, trying to get turned around and find their sign and get back on track. But we have to be so nice to those people because we need that money they're bringing into the community. People have been saving up now for over a year so that they can go out and spend money. We want them to spend it all in Scottsbluff County.
Right.
Welcome them, talk to people, even just a nice little Nebraska wave, you know? I mean, we are friendly and we hear that all the time. We had a tour guide here from New York a few weeks ago, and she said there was not one place that she traveled through this entire state where people who didn't even know her were just waving. And she kept thinking maybe she had left a drink setting on the top of her car or
Oh,
something
shoot.
because, you know, people were just waving at her. And she said, this is the friendliest place I've ever been. And that's what we want. We
Right.
want to be nice to every single person that comes through our community just to give them all the more reason to stay longer and spend money.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. And then can you think of anything else that you want to highlight about this summer's tourism for people who might be trying to figure out where they want to go this summer?
Well, I always like to throw out, I mean, I know that so many people are not nervous anymore
Mhm.
about COVID, you know, but there are still people that are for, you know, for whatever reasons. We all have our own reasons and we don't have to do anything for anybody but ourselves, what makes ourselves comfortable. And I think that we are still that place. We are that place, whether you're nervous about it or whether you're not. We can still socially distance here. You can still go out with your family to different places and have picnics and see things, take pictures, look for wildlife, do whatever it is that you like to do, but yet still be removed from the larger crowds of people. So I think that that's what's really going to do it for us this year is that we have so many options. We do have the crowd activities, but we also still have those socially distanced activities, tons of camping, new opportunities for camping coming up as well, some new things being built. So I think that that whole idea behind you know, social distancing is still going to be pretty unpopular for some families this year.
Okay, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you, Brenda, for taking time to discuss this local tourism and what we can kind of expect for this summer. We're really looking forward to it, and we're hoping everybody kind of comes and sees what great things we all have to offer in Scotts Bluff. So, and thank you all for joining us for another episode of Table Talk.